Hi, my name is Jay Taylor. I am a screenwriter and sometimes director, always lover and creator of film. In one of my Facebook groups, someone asked, how do I make a quality short film on a little to no budget? This list here is 10 things that I put down. These are not in any particular order, but these are the 10 important things that I've found in working in film. Number one, minimal script. By minimal script, I don't mean skip on the story. I mean, look at your budget, look at what you have to work with, and tailor your script to your situation around you. If you've only got, $200 or $300, don't write a magnum sci-fi epic, right? You obviously won't be able to get that done. Don't do a big action piece that requires you to use lots of CGI or a lot of special effects or practical effects. Unless you have access to that for people that are willing to do it for you offhand, then that script's not going to work. You can write a minimal script without sacrificing story. You just need to put more work into it. I think we've all seen the tons of short films that are coming out that aren't written by writers. These are movies that are put together by directors, special effects artists, stunt coordinators, and they don't necessarily have a good story, but those other elements are amazing. Screenwriting as a craft in and of itself is important. So when I say minimal script, again, don't sacrifice on story. But when you talk about cuts, camera movements, and scenes, you want to get as least amount as possible. Less is definitely going to be more in your short film. Okay, number two, this is a huge one. And again, these aren't in any order, but it's shot list, shot list, shot list, shot list, shot list. All that pre-production. Man, you gotta put your work in on this. I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it any more than every video I've watched for it. A shot list that's dedicated, where we know what we're doing, what your camera movements are. It's gonna save you time, it's gonna save you stress, you're gonna look more professional on set, and it's just not gonna be as hectic. I can't stress this enough. A lot of people wanna shoot from the hip and run and gun because they think they know, and maybe you do know, or maybe you're just so good, but if you're that good that it doesn't take any time to write it down, and if you're like me and you're an amateur, then yes, write that shot list. How long is it going to take for me to shoot this one? How much time do I have to set up my next shot? What time of day are we shooting it? What lights do I need? What props do I need? Nothing is worse than coming on your short film set as the director or the producer and you just don't know where your stuff is or what you're doing. And that's going to deflate people's confidence in you if you're running around. It looks like you're making up things from the hip. Next up, a dedicated sound person. This is incredibly important. Just like screenwriting, cinematography, sound is an art form in and of itself. People who are masters or dedicate themselves to sound, there's a reason why that is a job. It is so damn essential. As a writer's standpoint, we all kind of, maybe some of us think our job's the most important. I'm the writer. Who has a job without me? Blah, 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 blah. You don't have a movie without sound, and you need to have somebody who's dedicated to doing that. Whether you're using a zoom and shotgun and boom mics, whether you're using lavaliers or surreptitiously hidden mics, plan that and have someone whose job it is to monitor sound. When I shot Symbiotic, the first day and the second day, I used cell phone cameras, as I mentioned. I put the mics into the camera, I attached them. For the first 2 minutes, they don't pick up any static. I'm guessing that as the phone overheats on the gimbal, it makes a static whine come through. Because I didn't have anyone actually monitoring the sound, then I didn't know that. So I listened to the sound and it sounded good. Sometimes I'd watch a take and it'd be fine, and then I would catch the sound on it, and for whatever reason, it didn't come through until I plugged it in. Fortunately, I was able to save the sound by running it through a filter. It was able to take off this random high-end staticky whine. The problem was definitely the microphones. And again, hire somebody who's dedicated to sound. Make sure your sound is on point. Lighting is an art form. Get yourself a dedicated light person. As a caveat to this, for all my cell phone filmmakers, remember to turn on your reticle and lock your focus and lock your lighting in. My phone does that actually, but the program itself, if it records for too long, it appears to reset, it stops and then restarts recording, and then it turns off that feature. So a part of the movie is great, all the lighting is locked, and then another part of it, it's going up and down, depending on where the camera's moving, and super distracting, and it makes the second half of my film look way more amateur than I am. So get a lighting person who's dedicated that can get that and dial that in for you. And if you're using your cell phone to do it as well, make sure you lock that reticle in. Number 5, this is location. This is my personal opinion, not as a professional. In your short film, no more than 2 locations. You do not want to have people running around from place to place to place, moving equipment, gas, timing, setup, and set down. Pick 2 locations, make them dynamic places that are visually stimulating, that will up the production value of your short film. A short film that I wrote called Dark is Light has 2 locations, an apartment, and it was supposed to be a basement in a chair with a light down on it. I then gave that movie to Three-Headed Monster, shout out to John, who their team then took that movie and they moved it to 1 location, but it's a beautiful location. It's an office / winery where there's a bunch of wine barrels everywhere. It's got this big kind of skylight window in the background. So as they're moving through the one room, this one big space, there's a lot of different angles they can use, and they make the film and the production seem so much bigger. And they just use 1 location, but they picked it intelligently, and they did a great job with my script as well to bring it to life in that small space and make it not feel like a small space, but a huge, huge location. Number 6, this one is gonna probably get me some guff from people, but I'm just speaking from my experience, and this is not personal or an attack on anyone. 2 actors. If you're writing a short film and you're working with a minimal crew, 2 actors is best. Small script, 2 locations, 2 actors, and let them really play off each other. A lot of people say, hey, get anybody you want to help you make a movie, get your friend, get your brother, get your cousin. I disagree with that. Unless these people are actors, you're not gonna get what you want out of them, and you're gonna have a bad filming process in my experience. Like if you just wanna shoot kind of like a crappy movie, to be blunt, like just a movie where people are saying your lines, then yeah, get your cousin to do it who doesn't really care. But that's the problem. People who don't want to be actors or haven't trained or practiced to be actors at all, they're not going to give you what you need on camera that's going to make your movie passable. So you write a good script, you get a lighter, you get sound, you got good locations, but then you hire somebody that really doesn't care about acting, and they're going to deliver your lines flat or with no emotion or inconsistently, and that's going to hurt your film. So I say finding 2 actors. I recommend, of course, looking online for people that have been in 2 or 3 short films that you like, and call them up. If there's a local theater or local film school, grab some actors from there. I mean, that's your best bet. Do not, and this is where I will probably ruffle some feathers, I would say do not use TikTok or influencers or models. So 2 actors, not models, not TikTokers. No offense, influencers, but you suck on set, in my opinion. Good. Number 7, craft services. Yo, feed your people, man. I don't care if you're low budget, no budget, shoestring, get some ramen, get some bread, get some fruit, chop it up, make a fruit platter, go to Costco, find out what people's eating habits are, what they're allergic to, do that. Make sure there's a little something for everybody on set. Make sure if you're shooting in the heat, you have shade. Make sure if you're shooting in the cold, that you have extra jackets and things to keep your people warm. Like, keep your people comfortable, keep them fed. We may not be able to pay top dollar, but these type of things, these things that we bring to them, like food and drink, water, good clothing, these are basic stuff, and we should all provide those. And this role is actually a great role to pull a friend in, especially if you got a friend who's into hospitality and they really believe in it. They're going to make sure with a little budget that you get the most out of it. Take care of your people. Okay, number 8. Yeah, we're all on a short budget. Offer payment to all of the above. Okay, all the 1 through 8. Everyone we're talking about here, offer them something. Offering people opportunity to work for exposure isn't cool, dude. It rubs everybody wrong. Me, I'm an ESL, I'm an international history teacher. Like, I teach part-time, I don't make a lot of cash doing it. So when it comes to making movies, I produce these myself. You can always find 50 or 60 bucks for people. Like, let them know it's for 1 day, or if it's for 2 days, tell them I need you 30 bucks a day. That's just like gas. That's to pay your Netflix subscription for the month. That's to buy some extra unlimited minutes on your phone. But offer people something beyond just exposure. Make sure you're letting them know, hey, this is my dream, this is my vision. Tell them how important they are. Remind them that they're getting involved in it. Let them know that you're going to guarantee copy and credit. Let them know that you're going to have a nice wrap party for them. Like, you want to make sure it's appreciated. 9, this is something that I'm learning right now. Let's get a dedicated editor. if you're an editor already, great. If you're not like me, if you're not an editor, I'm editing Symbiotic again. Some of the mistakes that I made in number 1 and in number 4 are biting me in the butt, and I'm going through that. I'm like, oh no, there's some continuity that's off. There were some angles that don't mesh well. And I think it's because I wasn't thinking as an editor. I was thinking like, I got to get the shot. And then I was thinking, ooh, this would be a cool shot. And lo and behold, now that I'm in the editor's chair after everything's said and done, I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Because I wasn't prepared for the editing process. I appreciate him for it immensely, but there's a way to make things easier on your editor, and that's again goes back to shot list, and pre-planning. The mistakes you make there are definitely going to come back. Number 10. Okay, anyone who says that you're working with, we can fix it in post, they're your enemy. Okay, they're not your friend. We can fix it in post is not an answer when you're shooting low budget like this. Doing reshoots oftentimes is not an answer to get everyone back. You need to be a measure thrice, shoot twice person. Not measure twice, cut once. Measure thrice, shoot twice. Got to get that coverage, right? But really plan your shots, know what you're doing beforehand, so that when you go in, you don't need to fix things in post, that you don't need to try to make things up. Anyone who says we can fix it in post or plans to use special effects to fix things, I say it again, they're not your friends. I'm not saying they're bad people, but cutting those corners on set the day of the shoot, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna get it in post, man, and you don't want that to happen. All right, those are my 10 things. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm not coming here, with some degree in filmmaking with, all these credits behind my belt. I'm just someone who loves film. I love making it. I love the process. I love the team and the camaraderie, and I love everything about it. I hope this video helps. These are things that I have learned doing it, shooting a few short films, and particularly shooting my last film solo, and this learning how much I absolutely miss a crew and how everyone who makes film is so essential. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I encourage you to share it with people. You don't need to subscribe to the channel, but if you share it with other people, that would be great, that you think might need it. Again, my name is Jay Taylor. $3 Films is what I work under, and hopefully you guys get to see Symbiotic after I do a couple reshoots. Peace.